Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to bring a message for the chosen. So, I happened to come across this beautiful artwork on my social media today, and it spoke volumes. Of course, if you find that this resonates with you in any way, please be sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Let us know how it resonates with your circumstance. So, shout out to whoever did this artwork. I don't know. At this point, I'm just going to say it's anonymous because I can't read the signature. I don't know who created this, but it speaks volumes when it comes to the journey for the chosen. Because a lot of times you'll ask that very vital question: why is it so hard for me, but it seems so easy for that person over there? And you're not asking from a space of envy or jealousy. You're actually applauding the other person that's able to make it to their destination and to say, I was able to gather the harvest based on the seeds that I planted. You're applauding them, but at the same time, you wonder, why is it so painful? You know that there's something waiting for you because you have planted seeds. You've planted those good seeds and you planted them in the right soil. You've nurtured them by nurturing yourself, loving on yourself, caring for others, being kind, compassionate, having empathy, giving, even at times when you didn't have it to give. You have been that person. And you look over at others who have done far less, who might not have been so compassionate or so empathetic towards others. And you wonder, well, why is it that my time has not come yet? And a lot of times it's because the harvest is just hits different. Your harvest that you are bound to reap is far greater than that of the next person. And so it takes longer for that harvest to actually multiply and to come into fruition in a 3D. It takes longer because the abundance of that harvest is going to be plentiful. It's going to be filling. It's going to be nurturing. And so because what you are working towards is just that great, it has to be protected at all cost. A lot of times when you see plants that have thorns on them, like let's just say, for instance, roses, right? A lot of times roses, they have thorns that grow on them. Why? Because they are so sought after. People are so drawn to roses because they're so beautiful that, the lifeline is very short. As soon as you see a rose, you're going to pick that rose. You see what I'm saying? Whether it's for yourself or whether you're giving it to someone that you love. And so roses, it takes a little bit more work to be able to get to a rose without, cutting yourself, because they are a beautiful, beautiful plant that is highly protected. And so it's the same thing for you. Your harvest and everything that the Most High has stored up for you is highly sought after. People want your inheritance. They want your birthright, because what the Most High has stored up for you, when you get to that thing, you are going to attract a lot of very jealous and envious people who want to take it from you. But the beautiful thing about the journey to get to what you have is that they won't be able to sustain the amount of pain and effort and dedication that you was able to put in order to gather that harvest. They won't be able to get past them thorns to get to that beautiful fruit that has been growing at the top of that tree for you. See, they're used to gliding through life and getting to the smallest of things. As you can see in the picture, the one who's smiling and feeling like, oh, this is cakewalk, this is easy. When she gets up there to her harvest, it's very little that she's going to gain access to. But see, the problem with the woman on the right is that she's looking over at you, chosen, thinking, oh, I'm winning. I'm winning. Look at how hard it is for you. I bet she'll never get there. I bet she'll never get to it. I bet you I'll get there first. But she's not looking up, so she don't understand that at the top, what you're going to get to is far greater because you have earned it. Your reward is greater because you sustain the pain and the dark times and the trials and the tribulations. It was not easy. But that woman on the right, or that other person who's been watching you, mocking you, saying, aha, I'm going to get there before you. Look at you. You don't have anything. Look at you. You lost your career. You lost your job. You lost your home. You lost your man, your woman. You've gone through health issues. You've lost XYZ. They're too busy focused on you. You're not thinking about them. You're just focused on the journey. Because you're reaching up there, and at the top there has to be something great for you. And so you're pushing and you're pushing and you're, dealing with the pain, knowing that there's going to come a time where you get to sit down and heal those wounds. There's going to come a time when you get to sit down and focus on mending those scars. But you know that there's something great that's waiting for you. And the Most High did not do this by accident. Because that person or those people who have been watching you, mocking you, saying, how are you still sustaining? How are you still on that particular path or that journey? Look at all the things that you're going through. Those same people are going to want to partake in your harvest because they're going to see that it's so plentiful that if you wanted to, you could share. But the real question is, why would you? Because they sat there and they mocked you. And they gossiped about you and they said you didn't have nothing and that you wouldn't be nothing. So why would you share? Not with them. We got over 7 billion people on the planet. There's a whole lot of folks you can share with. But you most definitely shouldn't be sharing with the ones that scoffed you and mocked you and talked about you and laughed at you when you was at your lowest point, when you was hurting and in pain and in competition with you when you didn't even sign up for a competition. But this is why this harvest is so protected, and there's so much pain that you have to go through to get to it, because it makes you appreciate it that much more. Because that fruit that's at the top of that tree is going to heal every scar, every wound, every bit of pain that you had to sustain will be healed the moment that you take a bite out of that harvest that you've been planting. Because the Most High set it up that way. That fruit is healing that she's getting ready to touch. That fruit is healing that you're getting ready to welcome into your life. Whether it's a new relationship or whether it's a creative idea that you just love getting up to do every day, that is healing. That spiritual insight, those spiritual gifts that are being activated, whatever it is, that fruit is healing because it keeps you balanced. It keeps you highly vibrational. It's the perfect salve. And that other person or those people that was mocking you, when they get up there, they're not nurtured. They will not be fed or nurtured by that little bit of harvest that they gain access to. And this is why they're going to still be looking over in your direction. Then they go from mocking you and saying that you wouldn't have anything and being in competition with you to then wanting what you have. Saying you don't deserve what you have. But they know that you deserve it. Even though outwardly they act like you don't deserve it, inwardly they know that you deserve it because they watch you the whole time. They watch the trials and tribulations that you had to go through in order to gain access to that fruit. They know you deserve it because they know good and damn well they would not be able to sustain the pain, the agony that you was subjected to in the process of gaining access to that harvest that you had planted seeds toward. You deserve this, chosen. And so the next time you happen to go through something, as you're going along this journey to get to your harvest, don't worry about the timing. Because if you had gotten there too soon, the harvest wouldn't be ripened yet. And you know what I'm also seeing in this image is that person who was watching you, those people that was mocking you, saying, oh, where's the harvest? You talked all this mess. You've been working on this and I don't see anything coming of that. The problem that they're having on their end is that they're in competition. They're rushing to get to the finish line rather than taking their time, nurturing the seeds that they planted and giving it the opportunity to grow They're so anxious to get to the harvest that they get there prematurely and that thing hasn't even sprouted yet. So now they're going to be picking bitter fruit that has no taste, that has no sweetness, because they didn't give it a chance to grow because they was too busy watching you and in competition with trying to get to it before you got there. Meanwhile, the Most High put the thorns in your pathway because the Most High wanted to ensure that by the time you got done taking that long journey, overcoming all of those painful obstacles, that your harvest would be plentiful and ripened, ready for the picking. Your journey would not go in vain. Your pain would not go in vain. You will be able to get there and say, I am glad that it took this much time. I'm glad that I had to, get slowed down at this point in the journey or at that point in the journey, because had I made it there too soon, I would have been disappointed. But I got there just in time when it was fully ripened at the perfect moment. And you know what happens with this particular situation for you, Chosen? You pick that harvest and it grows and grows and grows and grows. It's a harvest that keeps on giving because yours is planted in fertile soil. The sweat, blood, and tears that drop from your eyes, the sweat that dropped from your brow, it fertilized that soil. You gave it life through your perseverance, your strength, and your willingness to never give up. So let them laugh, let them mock you, but they are going to be highly, highly disappointed when they look up and see just how different your harvest is, how much more plentiful your harvest is in comparison to theirs. Because they wanted to take the shortcut. They wanted to take the easy path, thinking that easy, meant, oh, I've won. But it was not by mistake that your opposition took that path and the Most High put you on a different path. You're on the road less traveled. Most people wouldn't even have the nerve or the courage to take the path that you was set on, Chosen. But the Most High knew that you had what it took to endure. And so now you get to reap that reward. So congratulations to those of you out there who have never given up, who's continuing to push. If you have not reached that harvest yet, know that it's going to be fully ripened by the time that you get there. So don't rush. Know that every stumbling block, every postponement, every bit of healing that you have to do along the way in order to keep going and to keep pushing is all a part of the plan, because the Most High is making sure that that thing is going to be sweet by the time you get there. That's my message for you all. I love you. Keep pushing. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. And I will talk to you all next time.